Here we go. All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome into the 90-day business launch call. It's our second call of the series. We had our kickoff call last week. It was excellent. And we have another amazing call this week. We have a special guest on who I'm going to introduce in just a moment. But we are excited. We're excited about this series. We're excited about the next 90 days of business. It's going to be phenomenal what will happen in Kyani and what can happen within your own individual business if you take advantage of these calls and obviously the mentorship from your leaders as you go through the next 90 days transforming your Kyani business. So a lot of exciting things going on. Actually, with this call, we're going to Facebook Live, which is exciting for us. We're actually going to do that from now on these series. So look forward to that as well. But again, we're excited. We're ready to go. It's 10 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, so we're going to kick this off. Before we get into our guest speaker, I just have a couple of announcements to make that you'll want to be aware of, you and your team. So the first announcement I have is a reminder that our $199 pack goes through the end of the month. Remember, that's $199, and it is a $25 bonus to the sponsor of anyone who enrolls someone with the $199 packs. So it's a great promotional pack. We're excited about it. We've seen incredible results from it. And so it's in addition to the normal packs that we have. So just keep that in mind. That's going through the end of the month. The other thing that's going through the end of the month is the 12-month introductory price for Kyani Pro 2. If you haven't been on Kyani Pro 2 yet, man, you are missing out. It is absolutely incredible. The tools on there, what we showed at convention was just a piece of what Kyani Pro 2 can do. And if you want to know more about Kyani Pro 2, you can actually go, if you attended the live event, you can check out the breakout session that talks a lot more about Kyani Pro 2 and lets you know exactly what that tool can do. So the introductory price, again, it's 12 months for $99. That's the best price you'll ever get. It will go up at the beginning of June. So make sure to take advantage of that introductory price through the end of the month. Those are the two things going through the end of the month. Now, I want to talk about Drive with 5. We have over 1,000 teams registered for the Drive with 5. That's incredible. So many people taking advantage of this contest and so many people getting off to a really, really fast start. It's going to be a tough competition. So we're really excited about the Drive with 5. Now, last week, if you'll remember, Mr. Travis Garza put out a challenge and he said, I want to see who the 3 teams are that produce the most points from last Wednesday to today. And we have the winners. So remember, the winners, Travis said, we'll get a call from myself, Mr. Travis Garza, and Mr. Carl Taylor to personally congratulate them on their success. So we're going to be calling these 3 teams. These are the teams who have the most points from last Wednesday through today. In third place with the third most points is Tsunami Latino. Now, I need to tell you about Tsunami Latino. They won the whole thing last time that we did this. So watch out for Tsunami Latino. Congratulations on a great week to you guys. Second place, Dust to Diamonds. Second place is Dust to Diamonds. That team is also doing incredible, nearly 100 points in 1 week. So congratulations to them. And the first place, the most points with over 100 points last week was the Freedom Warriors. So Freedom Warriors, you'll be hearing from myself, Mr. Carl Taylor, Mr. Travis Garza. Congratulations to everybody on your success. Incredible. And if you weren't mentioned, I know there's a ton of teams that are doing amazing things right now. Those are just our top 3 from the challenge that Mr. Travis Garza put out. So again, congratulations to all 3 teams on that. And let them know in the chat. I see people congratulating. Remember, if you are in the chat, I say this on every call. If you're in the chat, remember to look down at that blue box. And if it says all panelists, switch it to all panelists and attendees so that everyone can see what you're writing in the box. And we're going to have a lot to talk about as our guest gets on here, and you can interact with her a little bit. But the last thing I want to say is that we have some announcements we're going to make tomorrow. So tune in to this page, Kyani North America, tomorrow. We have some announcements we're going to make for the end of the month here. So make sure to tune in there. Okay. I think I've gotten through all the announcements. I'm sorry it took a little while, but we wanted to make sure to get those across to everyone. Now, I'm so excited about this call. Last week, we talked about your why, and we had Kinley and Andres Mendoza on, and they were fantastic talking about their why. Mr. Travis Garza was on as well. This week, we want to expand that why into building belief, but not only through good times, but through hard times as well. And so we brought someone on who I have a tremendous amount of respect for. She built this business very, very quickly. Had some hardships. She's going to talk about all that, but she's come back stronger than ever. She's leading a team that is producing among the top teams in all of Kyani right now. And I'm so impressed with her. So I want to welcome to the call, Diamond, Mrs. Maria Asensio.
Thank you so much, Mr. Schuyler, for having me here. What an honor. What a great way to start my Wednesday morning, guys. I am excited to just share with you guys a little bit of my story, like Mr. Schuyler Stephenson said, guys, and hopefully inspire you guys and help you guys a little bit through your journey here with Kyani. So thank you so much for having me here, guys. And I'm going to get right into it. Thank you so much, I imagine Miss Julia Thornhill saying Blue Diamond, Miss Maria Asensio, because that's definitely where we're heading right now. But guys, a little bit about me, in case you don't know, my name is Maria. I'm 29 years old. I got involved in Kyani back in 2016, and I'm going to take you guys through my journey through a training. So if you guys are ready to hear this training, if you guys are fired up, if you guys are ready to make it happen, drop me a 1 in the chats right now, guys, because I am about to bring the fire. As you guys know, I'm a loud trainer, and I talk very fast, so hopefully you guys can take some quick notes here. But we're going to talk about belief level. Blue Diamonds, Miss Kelly and Andres Mendoza talked about your why last week, guys, and your why is the most important thing here in this business. Your why's got to be specific. It's got to be big. It's got to be bigger than anything else. But along with that, guys, even if your why is really strong, one of the biggest things, guys, that you have to have here in Kyani is your belief system has to be solid. And I'm going to take you guys through a training, and also my story is going to be within that training. So you guys can hear a little bit of how, yes, I had a lot of fast success quickly in this company, but I also fell in my face a lot. So if you're falling on your face a lot, drop a 2 in the chat, guys. And that's not Kyani, that's life. Let's be real, right? In anything we do in life, in a relationship, at a job, in anything you do, there's going to be a learning curve, and you're going to have to fall, and you're going to have to, break apart some muscles to build that up even stronger. So let's get right into it, guys, so I make sure that I don't go over time, and maybe I can even do a little bit of Q&A at the end. So if you're ready, say I'm ready in the chat. But let me ask you guys a question. Have you ever wondered why, no matter what you learn or how hard you try, you still struggle to become successful or sustain success? Drop me a 2 in the chat if you've ever wondered this. And I should see a bunch of 2s right now, because I know for a fact everyone's wondered this at least once. I know I have multiple times. It's like no matter how hard you work, no matter what you do, you still struggle to sustain that success or to even have success, period. See, and we've heard these quotes all over. Believe in yourself is not just something that I'm making up or Mr. Schuyler Stephenson is making up. Belief in yourself and how you think about things is something that goes back through history, guys. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. And that was Buddha who said that. As he thinks in his heart, so is he. Proverbs. As you believe, so shall be done to you. Jesus. As you think, shall you become. Bruce Lee. See, all of these different human beings from different eras, from different parts of history, have all come to the same conclusion that whatever you think, you're going to become. So that just shows you a little bit of the power of your belief system and how important it is for you to have that. Now, I don't think I've ever shown these pictures before, ever. But this is me. So I look like a boy on the left, and I'm even wearing boy clothes. I don't know what's happening here. I mean, honestly, it's funny, but it's not funny because my mom was so poor that I had to borrow clothes from my cousins, and they were, I guess, mostly boys. So here I am looking like a boy. But that was my house back in Guatemala. As you can see, I have a swing that was made by my grandpa, made out of wood. We were so broke that my mom couldn't even afford a swing. The picture here on the left is my very first night in the United States of America. When I came here, I was 11 years old, and I am in Disney World. And as you can see, I am as excited as a child could be. But guys, going through that journey, coming from a third world country, coming to a foreign country where I didn't know the language, you know, I'm a tiny girl, I'm 11 years old. I had to go through a lot of struggles, a lot of self-doubt in thinking that I had what it took to actually become successful in this industry. I got bullied a lot when I was in college, and when I was not in, well, college, I guess too, but when I was in middle school and high school, you know, because of my language barrier, because of my height, because I wasn't from here, I never fit in. I think we're at 4 now. Drop a 4 in the chat if you ever have struggled with people bullying you or making you feel like you didn't belong. And that was definitely me, guys, and something that did not serve me at all coming into this industry. So we'll go back to the story and why I'm showing you guys this. But this was me, the Maria that came from a third world country that didn't know English that well, 4'11" girl coming into this industry for the very first time with a lot of self-doubt. See, our beliefs shape our destiny. So if you learn how to change your beliefs, you can change your life. Did you guys know that by the age of 3 to 4, a child has the same neural system as their parents for the rest of their life? Which means that your belief system has been downloaded and installed into you already by the age of 4. Something that you don't have any control over. Whatever your parents believe, by the age of 4, you are raised to believe that as well. See, when we are growing up, our parents tell us what to believe. Our parents tell us what's right and what's wrong, and we grow up in that environment. As you grow older, then you start listening to your friends and your coworkers, and you start believing what they tell you is right to believe. When you're in school, it was your teachers. Your teachers told you what to believe, what to do, what not to do. See, your name, your language, where you live, the school you went. See, my accent just came out. It's still there. Or your school, you know, what you were to believe got decided for you when you were younger. And acceptance of these beliefs levels was not a choice, but it was required for survival to connect with your surroundings. See, when I was born in Guatemala, I didn't have a choice whether I wanted to learn English or Chinese or Spanish. I had to learn Spanish as a survival mechanism, because if I didn't learn that to be my main language, I wouldn't be able to survive in that country. Does that make sense? Drop me a 5 if this is making sense, if this is connecting with you, if what I'm saying right now is hitting you. This was me back in 2016. So going back to the little girl that came to this country, you know, without knowing the language, guys, I got introduced to this industry back in 2014, actually, by a previous venture. I tried a different company where I didn't have much success, but I learned a lot. And I came into Kajaani in 2016 as a person that had never had success in the industry, not once. I came in, guys, and I was able to hit Sapphire. This is my Sapphire card when I first got it. I hit Sapphire my first 10 days in the company. Then I went Ruby. This was my first convention in Orlando. As you guys can see, my badge has a little red thing on the bottom because I was a Ruby. I went Ruby in 30 days of being involved with Kajaani. And then I hit Diamond in 89 days of being involved with Kajaani. If the idea of hitting Diamond in 89 days gets you excited, drop me some fire emojis, guys, because I literally came into Kajaani broke as can be. I was so broke, I had to literally sign up with Kajaani with a Discover credit card. It's a purple Discover credit card. I'll carry it with me everywhere, and I will frame that card in my house when I build my dream home to remind me of that leap of faith that I took. But I was so broke, I didn't even have $600 to my name. 3 months later, I hit Diamond. And by April of 2016, guys, that month I made almost $16,000 in 1 month. I went from broke to making that kind of income. And you would think that I would be on top of the world, and I was, guys. I was on top of the world, and I was like, I've made it. Like, my life is done. Like, I've done everything I wanted to achieve, and I'm just gonna cruise all through life. Boy, was I wrong. I definitely had fast success, but I'm gonna show you guys the emotional roller coaster that everybody has to go through here in this industry. See, this was back in 2016, fast success. Then 2018 came about, and I have this picture here. It says, the first picture on here, if you can't read it, it says, sometimes when God puts you in dark places, you think you have been buried when he really just planted you. And I remember posting this picture, guys, because this was the first time that I had a big chunk of my business being taken away from me by another leader. This was a time where I had one of my rubies actually leave Kyani to go to another company for whatever reason, call it ego, call it whatever, but it happens, life happens. And this was my first big dip in this business, guys, where I was not doing well mentally, but I said, you know what, I'm gonna make through it, and I kept going, and my belief system was there. Then, this is 2019. 2019, I had the biggest hit yet. And I get emotional talking about it even right now because it was kind of recent. But back in 2019, guys, I had my business partner, who would also happen to be my life partner, actually walk away from this business too. And I was left to build this business by myself. And I was so scared because I never built this business on my own. And it was literally the hardest. See, the picture I showed you guys here is this picture right here. Most people don't know that my business partners actually was with me, and we were building this together, and it was great. In September of 2019, he left, and a bunch of my business fell apart as well because he took a lot of my business with him. Now, I'm not saying that to discourage you guys, but just so you guys understand, it's life. It's going to happen, and I hope and pray that never happens to you. But if it does, I'm here to show you that there is hope, and you can make it through it, guys, no matter what happens, because as scared as I was blessed enough to have this amazing company that we had the best compensation plan. I had leaders by my side every single step of the way. But most importantly, I had done enough personal development to believe in myself that no matter what I went through or how low I got, that I could make it through it. So let me show you guys how I taught myself this. Let me give you as an example. You might be thinking, why is she showing us this picture right now? So just, follow along with me, bear with me here. If I show you guys this picture, it's just a picture of girlfriends, in spring break. Some of you girls on here maybe have a picture like this with your girlfriends. It's nothing, weird to us. It's just girls at a beach taking a picture. But if I show you guys this picture right here, then you have a completely different reaction to it based on where you were born and based on what you were taught to believe, based on what country you live in. Because see, in the other side of the world, if I show them a picture like the one on your left of the girls with the bikini, those people think the same thing we think of the picture on the right, just because we were born in different environments. Now, the pictures don't change. The pictures are the same. It's just what kind of belief, what kind of meaning you give to it, depending on what you were taught to believe. And hopefully you guys are following along with me here. See this right here, the donkey on the elephant, you believe one or the other depending on how you were raised. Let me give us another example of how your belief levels are affected by how you're raised and everything around you. How many of you guys know this sign right here? Especially, I'm in Texas right now. I'm in Dallas, Texas with Mr. Miles and Heidi Staller. Their beautiful apartment here. They have an amazing view, guys. It's definitely jealous to be here. It's absolutely gorgeous. But here in Texas, you guys use this a lot here, right? What does this mean in the U.S.? It's adopted by rockers as a sign of approval and in essence to rock on, right? But if you do the same exact sign in places like Italy, Brazil, Colombia, Portugal, or Spain, in other parts of the world, to make this sign at someone is to tell them their wife is cheating on them. Now, think about how crazy that is. Now, the sign is the same. The sign doesn't change. What changes is your belief level, what you're taught to believe about that certain sign. Every man is a creature of the age. Oh, sorry, guys, 1 second. Every man is a creature of the age in which he lives. Very few are able to raise themselves above the idea of times. Another example, this dog right here. Some of you guys look at this dog and what do you think? You're like, oh my God, he's this scary dog that attacked me when I was younger. You're scared of dogs because of an experience that you had when you were younger. Some of you guys look at this dog and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to cuddle him. Can I please pet him? See, the same dog, the dog doesn't change. What changes is the belief that you have about the dog. But it's all in your mind. It's all what meaning you give it on purpose. And you ever wonder why you have irrational doubts, fears, to harmless activities? For example, how many of you guys have been terrified to pick up the phone? to call somebody and tell them about Kayani? How many of you guys have that one person on your phone that you're like, oh, I should text them. Oh, I should call them. And you know that you should text them. You know that you should call them and tell about this amazing new mobile app, about our OnShots. But for some reason, you have this fear within you that you think that by calling them, something terrible is going to happen. When was the last time that something bad physically happened to someone when they made a phone call? Never, guys, never. But why do we have these fears? Why do you believe that by calling somebody or sending a text that something bad is going to happen? We call this the cave syndrome, because our ancestors and our parents were taught to always do what society said was okay to do, to always do what we had to do to fit into society. But guys, I'm here to tell you that we are not here to fit in. We don't want to be like the 95%. We want to be like the 5%. We want to go against the grain. So you make that phone call, you get that text, guys, and if you get a no, good for you. You're doing something right. You're going against the grain. You're doing what we're supposed to be doing to get out of society norm. That's what we're trying to do. We don't want to be like everybody else. Drop me a 5 in the chat if you're trying to not be like everybody else. So this fear that you have of calling people or texting somebody is just because you were taught to always just go with the flow. You were taught to be accepted and do whatever everyone else tells you to do. But we know that here in Kayani, guys, we have something so amazing and so great that it's our time to tell everybody else that they're wrong and we are right. So don't have that fear when it comes to calling somebody. It's just a phone call. It's just a text. And the more no's that you get, the more successful you're going to be here. So see, what happens is that your belief is what becomes your identity. And you wear these beliefs like a mask. Whether you think you're worthy or worthless, competent or incompetent, powerful or powerless, independent or dependent, whether you think you're loved or you're an outcast or an outsider, or you think that you're accepting or judgmental. See, all of these are beliefs that we have gotten since we were little. And once these beliefs are installed, you can only see the world through this prism. What do I mean by that, guys? That if you were raised to think that you were never good enough, it doesn't matter how much you accomplish. It doesn't matter if you go diamond, blue diamond, green diamond, purple diamond. You're always going to think that you are not good enough because you are taught to focus on just the things that actually are going to grow that belief within you. See, it's science. I'm not just saying this to say it. It's actually science. There's something in our brain called the RAS, the reticular activating system, that teaches us to only focus on what we know. Because see, guys, we have thousands, and I mean thousands of inputs being put into our brain every single day. So your brain has to learn how to filter through things that it knows. So if you've always only known to not believe in yourself, if you always only known that you're worthless, if you've only known that you're never going to be good enough, you will always find reasons to reinforce that belief level versus the other way around. Because your brain is used to focusing on the negatives and ignoring the positives because it's outside of your belief level. Guys, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Every time somebody says something good about you, we don't believe it. They're like, oh, they're just saying that to be nice. Oh, they're just saying that because they want to be good people. Oh, they're just saying that to make me feel better. But the second somebody says something bad about us, what do? We buy it right away. We're like, oh my God, they're right. I suck, blah, blah, blah. Like, why do we do that to ourselves? Because we've grown up with that belief level. And I'm here to help you guys switch that and understand that you have power. Let me give you another example of how your RAS system works in your brain. See, when you are in an airport and it's super loud, a lot of people are talking, you're not really understanding conversations because there's so many of them going on. But then somebody says your name one time. Somebody says Maria. Somebody says Skylar. Somebody says, Roger. And what happens? That's the name that you hear. That's the first name. You hear that name. Out of all the noise, you hear that one name. Why does that happen? Because your brain knows to only listen to things that it's already familiar with. Another example, this is perfect for Kayani. How many of you guys are car qualifiers? Drop me car qualifier in the chat if you qualify for your car. Drop me a 6 if you're ready to get car qualified for your car. But how many of you guys have ever gone out and buy a car and you're like, yes, it's the first car on the street. Nobody has my car. I'm gonna be the first one. You drive out of the dealership and guess what? Now every other car seems to be your car. You're like, what in the world? How does everyone now have my car? Here's the thing, the cars were always there. It's just your brain, you never told your brain to focus on that car specifically. Therefore, it never did. It ignored it. But now that you have it, it knows to focus on that. Whatever prism you look at, guys, whatever belief system you have in your brain is your prism. And your prism can become your prison if you don't learn how to switch this, guys. No matter how good you are at Kayani, no matter how much you achieve here, if you don't learn to believe in yourself and switch that belief system, your prism will always become your prison. But here's the good news, guys. Here's the good news, that if you were born with that environment, if you were born to believe that you weren't good enough, that you were too shy for this business, that you were never going to make it, that if your team left you, you were never going to make it again. If you were born with that belief system, the good news is that belief is a skill. Type that in the chat, guys. Write it, underline it, highlight it. Belief is a skill. You can learn it and you can unlearn them. And you can unlock the prison doors to your prism, guys. And I'm a perfect example of that. See, once you change your belief level, then you change your choices. And once you change your choices, you change your behavior. And once you change your behavior, you change your habits. And once you change your habits, with time compounded, your goals change. But in order for you to achieve your goal, diamond, blue diamond, green diamond, double black diamond, you gotta start with your belief. When my business partners left me, guys, I doubted myself a lot. I didn't think that I could be a good enough leader for my team. I didn't think that I had what it takes to do it again and to lift myself up. But you know what happened, guys? When you fall on your face, good for you, because you're gonna get up stronger and better. You gotta grow through it. I heard this from one of my mentors, Miss Tiana Lai. She said, it's your growing season. Grow through it. Grow through whatever you're going through. If your business partner left you, great, grow through that. If right now you feel like, you don't know what to do, or your friends are telling you, great, it's a growing process for you. The only way you build stronger, bigger muscle is by breaking it down so it can build back up again, guys. And I heard a quote, one of my favorite quotes ever from a book. And it says, sometimes the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, sometimes it can't just break you down, because if you break a glass, guys, you can put it back together. If the pieces are big enough, you can just put it back together and it becomes the same thing it was before. But sometimes if you're going through a rough patch, not just in Kayani, but in your life, I want you to understand something, that sometimes the universe, sometimes God has to shatter you into the tiniest little pieces that you can possibly become, completely shatter you, so something brand new can be created out of that. And that is the only way. If you want a different life, if you want to become somebody new, guys, you have to understand that you have to go through the shattering process. And it's okay, because you're just becoming a brand new, stronger, bigger, better version of yourself. And that's what I had to do for myself, guys. When I was down in the deepest stages of my life, one quote that I heard that I love is, the good thing about hitting rock bottom is that you can only go up from there. And I definitely hit rock bottom, but I had no choice but to go up. And I told myself, Maria, you have a choice. You can quit or you can keep going. And quitting is not in my vocabulary. Quitting is not in my dictionary. And I said, you know what? I got to get stronger. This is just a sign that I have to get better. And I forced myself to find the inner superwoman within me. And I want you guys to find your super inner woman, Superman or Wonder Woman within you. Where is your Superman? Where is your Wonder Woman? Find that within you and believe in yourself that you can achieve whatever you put your mind to. Some of you guys know this already, and some of you guys have no idea what this is. But this is actually something that I did when I was in that phase in my business where I didn't think that I could make it, where I didn't think I was good enough, where I didn't think I had what it took. And I said, okay, Maria, how are you showing up right now? And I was showing up as not courageous. I was showing up as scared. I was showing up as weak. I was showing up as doubtful. I was showing up with all this fear. And I said, what kind of woman do I have to become to achieve my goals, which is blue diamond, black diamond? What kind of woman has to show up in order for me to achieve those goals and lead my team the way I was supposed to? And the woman that I was at the moment was not it. That fearless woman that was not courageous, the woman that had self-doubt was not the woman that was going to help me achieve my goals. So I literally made a list. I made a list and I literally just put a line in the middle, and on one side I put my name, Maria, and I wrote down all the characteristics that I was at that moment that were mostly negative. And then on the other side, I wrote down the characteristics of the woman, the ideal woman that I would have to show up as to achieve my goals. And it was things like courageous, fearless, happy, gracious, you know what I did, guys? I named that woman. I gave that woman a name, and her name is Fernanda. This is actually my middle name, so it's still my name, but Fernanda is the woman that sometimes you have to just seek within yourself that strength. You can't depend on other people to motivate you all the time. You gotta be able to motivate yourself. You gotta be able to get yourself out of the rut. And for me, when I was showing up as weak, I said, you know what? I want to find the best, strongest version of myself, and that was Fernanda. So Fernanda was the woman that I've always had within me. I just had to get her out. And I invited her out, guys. And because of that, I was able to thrive. I was able to get up again with that and the help of my amazing leaders and my amazing team, guys. I was able to thrive. And now, literally, this was April 10th of 2020. I earned one of my largest checks. And again, May 10th, so this month, I earned one of my largest checks again. And this month, on the 7th, I was number 4 monthly top team builder as a Diamond in America. And then I was a number 1 monthly top team retention leader. And I say that and I'm crying because, guys, it was so worth it. And here's my thing. No matter what happens in this business, it's better than a job. Your worst day in Kalyani is better than your best day at your job, because you're fighting for your dreams and you're fighting for your future and you're fighting for your business, guys, and you can do it. Now I'm part of the $250,000 club, soon to be $500,000, guys, and I'm just so incredibly blessed that I never gave up, that I had that support system, and that I believe in myself enough to know that I could do it. So my call to action to you guys is I want you guys to make that list right now. I want you to make a list of how you're showing up right now as a person. What are the characteristics? How are you acting? Are you being grateful every day? Are you being courageous? Are you helping your team? Are you focusing on the positives, not the negatives? Are you just grateful to have this opportunity? Right? And I want you to write down how you're showing up right now, and then compare that to the person you would have to show up as to become a diamond. And compare that to the blue diamond version of you, and compare that to the double black diamond version of you, and compare the two lists. And if they're not the same, I invite you to make a shift, and I invite you to understand that it's all in your belief system. Whatever you tell yourself is what's going to happen. So if you tell yourself that you're not good enough, then you're not good enough. If you tell yourself that you're good enough, then you're good enough, guys. It all comes down to you seeing yourself in the mirror, looking at yourself in the mirror, and telling yourself that you're going to make this happen no matter what. So make your list, and if you have to name the best version of yourself, name that person, and I invite you to drop it in the chats to let us know what the version of yourself is, guys, to make sure that we can help you go diamond and beyond here with Kalyani. So I hope that I helped you guys a little bit with how I got through my belief level, guys. I love and appreciate you so much, every single one of you guys, and I am blessed to be here. And one of the reasons why I kept going and I fought through it, as I said, when I'm going through my journey and when I'm falling, this is just part of my testimony, so that can inspire other people. Whatever you're going through, just understand that's part of your journey. And one day you're going to walk on that stage. You're going to stand on that stage and say, no matter what I went through this, I went through this, I went through that, and I made it. And I made it happen, guys, because that's what you're put on this earth to do, to inspire people and to make it happen. But you will never be able to get there without falling and ripped, just like muscle. Muscle never gets built without being ripped apart. You got to be ripped apart. You got to be shattered into little pieces, but you'll come out stronger. You'll come out better, because that's what we're here for, to become the best versions of ourselves that we can become. And that only happens through struggle, guys. But we're here with you. We're here to support you. And we're here to tell you that you're going to make it. That if I can make it through what I went through, and now I'm one of the #1 diamonds in all of Kyani, guys, you can do it as well. So I love and appreciate you guys so much. I hope you guys got a lot of value from this. And with that, I give it back to our amazing VP of Sales, Mr. Skylar Stephenson.
Wow. Thank you so much, Maria. It's incredible always to hear your story, but I love your passion. I love your emotion. It's been incredible to watch the journey along with you. And I know that you've got big goals of walking the stage as Blue Diamond at our next convention. And I fully believe that we will be recognizing Mrs. Maria Asensio as a Blue Diamond. So thank you again. If you got value out of this call, please drop some fire emojis. Thank Mrs. Maria Asensio for what she provided. It was an absolutely incredible training. The idea is to grow your belief, and you've seen a personal example from one of our top diamonds on how she did that. And I hope that you can relate that to your business. If you're happy where you're at and how you're growing, that's fantastic. If you're not, you can always change it. Even if you have to create a new name like Fernanda, you can always create more belief and you can improve your business. So thank you again for that. We truly appreciate it. I have 2 challenges as we leave here today. The first is to help instill belief in 3 people this week. Whether you tell them they're pretty, whether you tell them they're amazing leaders, whatever you do, make sure that there are 3 people in your life, whether it's your Kyani business or not, that you instill belief in. Because it's important to pay it forward and to spread this message that we heard from Mrs. Maria Asensio today. And the second one is we are going to look again at our Drive with 5, and we're going to recognize 3 more teams, Mr. Carl Taylor, myself, Mr. Travis Garza. We're going to call those teams for this weekly challenge as well. So if you didn't quite make the top 3 this week or last week, make it this week, because we will be calling you and congratulating you personally. Maria Asensio, thank you again. We're so grateful for you. Thanks for everyone for joining, and we will see you all next Wednesday, same time, same place. Bye, everyone.